This is Spirit Over Mind.
Your newest voyage into meditation and spirituality.
Most nights I struggle with sleep. I usually try to listen to natural sounds like rainforests, or sometimes I'll listen to an audiobook just to help me fall asleep. So today, we're going to try something different. Tonight's sleep story aims to resolve even the most restless minds to a complete state of relaxation. So before we begin, make sure you are in a safe location, not driving, for example. Settle in, get comfortable, and allow your body to sink into a neutral position as we dive into this sleep meditation. Calmness begins when you take a deep breath and you decide to not let anything or anyone dictate your emotions. It was a warm summer evening. The nighttime air started to fill the forest. The slightly cool breeze signaled the flowers to start closing their petals. The daytime critters began packing up their things and turning in for the day. And the nighttime critters started to awaken the swamp. One critter that has just woken up from a long day's rest, it was a green frog, a hungry green frog. It popped out from its log hiding home and began to hop over to the pond. On the way, they passed some neighbors. The ground mice family were preparing all their kids for school, or whatever the animal equivalent of school is. And the owls high in the trees greeted the frog, hopping by with friendly hoos from above, letting them know they see them and won't be attacking them tonight. Fun fact, most frogs are toxic, so owls avoid hunting them. What they didn't know was that this particular green frog was not poisonous. Their bright green body was a false warning sign. But the little frog was okay keeping up the act, especially since his life was safer that way. Before heading to the water, the frog paused a moment. Looking around at all the lights dancing around them. If the fireflies knew the frog was hungry, they might not fly so low. But here in the forest, all the animals live in a balance. The fireflies show the frog respect and light up its hunting ground, so the frog shows them respect by not eating them. Besides, the frog is more interested in dragonflies anyway. The star show above was a good sign that the frog might eat well tonight. So they did not stress. They knew that if they could just find a solid lily pad to station on, they would be successful. So the frog hopped onto a group of pads by the shoreline. The pads were soft and cushiony, like the softest bed you've ever laid in. The frog began to sink little by little as the pads were too soft. The frog knew that if it wanted to successfully eat, it would need a more stable platform. They continued hopping around until they found a solid group of lily pads to start the hunt. They saw a group of dragonflies nearby. They were all different sizes and colors, hovering so still above the water. So the frog hopped to the pads closer by, and when the dragonflies weren't looking, it leaped, launching its body toward them. Unfortunately, the dragonflies were too quick. They flew away, and the small green frog landed on another lily pad, still hungry. The frog continued jumping around, but missed over and over. And the frog became more and more tired, until it finally had to stop. It took a rest on a large lily pad and watched as the dragonflies kept flying all around. The frog started to become discouraged until they looked over and saw a fish nearby. The frog watched as the fish just stood still in the water below. With its mouth open wide, but not moving. Then, a dragonfly flying near decided to land on the water right above the fish. Then, without too much hesitation, the fish closed its mouth and gobbled the dragonfly up. The frog wondered if they could do something similar. If having a bit more patience could pay off. So, it stood firm on the lily pad, letting its body become still, almost camouflaging their green skin with the lily pad, waiting and waiting for a dragonfly to pass. More waiting, and then a slower dragonfly began passing by. The frog waited until it was just in front of their face, and at the right moment, it opened its mouth wide and gobbled the dragonfly. The frog was so satisfied and proud of itself It gave thanks to the fish for giving them the courage to keep trying and to try something new. And to the dragonfly for giving them nourishment. And lastly, it gave thanks to the pond for all that the frog had, for the beautiful life it had. The frog then decided to sit for the remainder of the night, staring at the moon and waiting for the sun to begin to rise before it headed back to its log to sleep.